Listen up, Whites faithful. Your boy is back with some absolutely mind-blowing news that's gonna leave every single Leeds supporter either jumping for joy or pulling their hair out. We've got 3 massive stories that have just dropped, and trust me when I say this, what's happening at Elland Road right now is gonna change everything for our beloved Whites. I'm not even joking when I tell you that what I'm about to reveal involves a goalkeeper situation that's spiraling completely out of control. A transfer disaster that has left Daniel Farke absolutely fuming, and an emotional exit that has rocked the very foundation of Leeds United. We're talking about decisions that could make or break our entire Premier League campaign. Before we dive into this absolute madness, smash that like button if you're ready for the truth. Drop a comment letting me know what you think is going to happen, and for the love of all that's holy, subscribe and ring that notification bell because you do not want to miss what's coming next. But here's what's gonna blow your mind, Whites faithful. We've got a French shot stopper whose future is hanging by a thread, a Welsh wizard who slipped through our fingers at the last second, and a striker whose departure has left everyone absolutely heartbroken. This is about to get intense. Are you ready to find out why our #1 keeper might be packing his bags for Turkey? Let's go! Here it is, Whites faithful. The name that's been on everyone's lips, Elland Road. And let me tell you something, what's happening with our French goalkeeper is absolutely insane. Can you believe this? Our once reliable #1, the man who kept us in so many games, is now sitting as 3rd choice goalkeeper. Lucas Perry's arrival has completely turned Meslier's world upside down, and the club is literally shopping him around Europe for a measly £5, 6 million. They've even stripped him of his shirt number. This is absolutely heartbreaking for any Leeds fan who remembers his heroics. But here's where it gets absolutely crazy. Red Bull themselves are getting involved. Our parent company is using their global connections to find Meslier a new home, and the options are wild. Turkey, Austria, Belgium, Greece, Poland, Saudi Arabia, UAE. They're literally scouring the entire planet to get him out of Elland Road. The statistics tell the whole story of how far he's fallen. Last season, Meslier had 21 clean sheets, joint 2nd in the championship, a 70.7% save percentage, and only conceded 0.7 goals per 90 minutes. These are elite numbers. But despite being one of the best goalkeepers in the division, he's been completely cast aside like he's some kind of amateur. And you want to know the most frustrating part? His massive wages. We're talking substantially higher than the reported £30,000 per week, are making it nearly impossible to move him. PSG considered him as backup. Como looked at him. Lorient wanted him back but couldn't afford his salary demands. Valencia and Rangers showed interest, but nobody could meet his financial expectations. Transfer expert Graham Bailey revealed the shocking truth. Leeds hierarchy and Red Bull higher-ups are using their connections and looking for destinations for him. This isn't just a club trying to move him on. This is a desperate, coordinated effort from the very top of our ownership structure. The worst part? He can sign a pre-contract with any foreign club in January since he'll be in his final 6 months. We could lose him for absolutely nothing while still paying his enormous wages until then. But wait, because what happened next with our transfer target will make your blood boil. Hold on to your seats, because this next revelation about Harry Wilson is gonna make every single Leeds fan absolutely livid with rage. Picture this. We've identified our target, we've done our homework, we've made our approach, and we're ready to bring the Welsh wizard to Elland Road. Leeds were willing to pay Fulham's asking price. We had a deal sheet signed by both the club and Wilson himself. And then, boom, Fulham pulled the plug at the absolute last minute. This is where it gets absolutely maddening. Fulham kept moving the goalposts like we're some kind of amateur operation. First, they rejected our loan bid. Then they demanded a permanent deal. Then they said they needed to sign 2 attackers first before letting Wilson go. We jumped through every single hoop they put in front of us. They signed Kevin for £35 million. They got Samuel Chukwueze on loan. They had everything they claimed they needed, and still they stabbed us in the back. The reason? There are completely contrasting reports that are making this whole situation even more infuriating. TalkSport claims Fulham couldn't agree on a fee with Chelsea for Tyreek George, so they kept Wilson instead. But BBC Sport says something completely different, that George was just a contingency plan in case we made an offer they couldn't refuse for Wilson. So basically, we were being played the entire time. Graham Smith from Yorkshire Evening Post revealed that Lorient and Valencia looked most likely destinations for Melia on deadline day, but for Wilson, it was always going to be a last-minute drama, with Fulham holding all the cards. Daniel Farke's comments after that soul-crushing 0-0 draw against Newcastle were absolutely damning. He basically said we need to sign attackers or we're in real danger of relegation. Can you imagine? Our own manager is publicly admitting we're not good enough and warning about a potential drop to the championship. The humiliation doesn't end there. Now we're scrambling in the free agent market like desperate scavengers, with names like Josh Brownhill being thrown around. Brownhill is reportedly interested in joining Leeds, but this is what we've been reduced to, picking up the pieces that other clubs don't want. But the most emotional story is still to come, and it's gonna break every Leeds fan's heart. And now, Whites faithful, we come to the most emotionally devastating story of all, the heartbreaking exit of Patrick Bamford. This man, this absolute legend, who scored crucial goals in our championship-winning campaign, who battled through injuries, who gave everything for this club, was told by Daniel Farke that he wouldn't feature at all in our Premier League campaign. Can you imagine receiving that phone call after everything he's done for us? Former Leeds defender John Newsom revealed the brutal truth on the Don't Go to Bed Just Yet podcast, saying Bamford is devastated, but there might be an element of relief. He confirmed what we all suspected. Bamford was on monster money, reportedly £70,000 per week, and the club just couldn't justify keeping him around anymore. But here's what makes this even more heartbreaking. Newsom, who was part of our legendary 1992 First Division winning squad and scored that crucial goal against Sheffield United, understands what it means to bleed white. He made 76 appearances for us between 1991 and 1994, and even he agrees that letting Bamford go was the right decision. Think about it. This is a man who scored 17 goals in our promotion season, who represented England, who became a fan favorite during our darkest championship days, and now he's looking for a new club at 31 years old after being cast aside like yesterday's news. His contract was terminated by mutual consent, but we all know what that really means. He was pushed out. The most frustrating part? While we've brought in Lucas and Mecha and Dominic Calvert-Lewin, and they might be upgrades on paper, we still look absolutely toothless in attack. We couldn't score against Newcastle if we played until Christmas. Joe Pyro has looked completely out of his depth in the Premier League. So what was the point of letting Bamford go if we're still struggling to find the back of the net? And here's the kicker that's going to make you want to throw your remote at the TV, with PSR potentially being the reason why the 49 ERs couldn't spend on deadline day. Why did it take them so long to get Bamford off the books? If his massive salary was such a problem for our financial regulations, this should have been sorted out months ago, not left until the last minute. The irony is killing me. We've supposedly upgraded our striker options, but both Mecha and Calvert-Lewin still have major question marks over them, according to our own sources. So we've essentially swapped one set of problems for another while breaking the heart of a club legend in the process. Leeds United faithful, we're living through one of the most chaotic periods in our recent history. We've got a goalkeeper being shopped around the world like unwanted goods, a transfer target that slipped through our fingers due to Fulham's mind games, and a club legend forced out the door while we still can't score goals to save our lives. The 49 ERs are being heavily criticized for their lack of transfer activity and their terrible deadline day. But honestly, after seeing how they've handled these three situations, can you blame the fans for being absolutely furious? What do you think about this absolute madness at Elland Road? Are we making the right decisions, or are the 49 hours completely destroying everything we've built? Are we building a Premier League squad or setting ourselves up for another heartbreaking relegation battle? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Smash that like button if this got your blood pumping, and subscribe because this is just the beginning of what promises to be an absolutely wild season. The question every Leeds fan is asking tonight: with all this chaos, Meslier's uncertain future, Wilson's escape, and Bamford's emotional departure, are we witnessing the beginning of something special or the complete destruction of everything we hold dear?